Hi, this is a tutorial to help registering at the Brazilian Federal Police, Polícia Federal, which is mandatory for every exchange student staying in Brazil for more than 3 months. At some point in the tutorial, I will speak in Portuguese a little bit because there are some steps along the registration where students from countries where Portuguese is the main language doesn't need to follow. So there are steps that doesn't apply for all of the students. So first you want to go to the Polícia Federal website, which is www.pf.gov.br. So this is the website, and just wanna scroll down a little bit and find this icon, Estrangeiro, which means foreigner, and click on it. So there are two icons that you want to pay attention. It's the fourth and fifth one. The fourth one is Orientações, gerais, which means general orientation, and the next one is registro, which is like applying for the registration. So let's just click on the first one. The registration is for Cédula de Identidade de Estrangeiro, right here, which is what you're applying for, which is basically your foreigner identity card. We also call it CIE, or in Portuguese, CIE. Unfortunately, there are no English translations to this orientation, but I strongly recommend you to read it carefully. It basically says everything that you're gonna need to take with you when you go to Polícia Federal, make the registration, and there are 4 steps, which are right here. 4 steps. It basically says first that you're gonna need a valid document, which is your passport usually. For people coming from Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, etc., all these countries written here, it might not be your passport, but it can be your national identification. Second, you're gonna need your visa and the visa application form. And next, the third option, 2 photos in color and with a white background. I'm not really sure how strict they are regarding the color of the background, but just in case, it's better to stick with what was required. If they don't accept your photograph for any reason, I do believe there will be some place there to take a photo. And finally, the number 4, it's 2 taxes that you're going to have to pay. The first one is Carteira de Estrangeiro, in the amount of R$204.77, and the second one is Registro de Estrangeiros, for the amount of R$106.45. Both taxes means, the first one it means foreigner card, and the second one means your registration as a foreign person. You might want to save these code numbers later because you're gonna need it when filling in the form. I'm gonna speak a little bit of Portuguese now. Os alunos dos países da comunidade dos países de língua portuguesa que estão listados aqui, Angola, Brasil, Cabo Verde, etc., eles estão isentos do pagamento de taxas de registro de estrangeiros, que está aqui em algum lugar. Então, esses alunos só precisam pagar a primeira taxa, aquela de R$204, no mesmo valor, tudo certo. Então vamos voltar ao tutorial. Continuing, in order to apply for your CIE, you're going to have to fill in a form, which you're going to do later. then schedule a day to go to an office of Polícia Federal with the documents I said at the beginning of the video, which are the travel document, the visa form, 2 photos, and both taxes paid. It's also important to have in mind that once you enter Brazil, you will have exact 30 days to finish all this process that we're gonna do together. So let's go back. Now I'm gonna show you step by step how to do your registration. You wanna go click on this the other icon that I mentioned before. And this page, in this page there is an English translation here. However, all the forms that we're gonna use, they are all in Portuguese. So I'm gonna use the original page in Portuguese. First, we're gonna do the registration form, which is this first step here. It's just a form, so you give Polícia Federal your general information. So just click on the link at the end of the first step, and it's going to open this form. And this first page is for general information, and you want to choose the state where you're going to stay at in Brazil, which in our case is Rio de Janeiro. So we're going to choose RJ here. So it's the state, and here. RNE is the actual number of the foreigner registration, which you don't have now. So this is only for the people who was already in Brazil and needs to do all this step again. So just don't mind this spot. So let's continue. Nome atual completo, which is full name. In Brazil, we leave our family name at the end, so you should pay attention to that. So if my first name is João, for example, and my last name, my family name, is Da Silva, then I'm going to write it like this. And if you have a middle name, just put in the middle. Nome anterior completo is your last full name, which is in cases where when people change their names for some reason. So full name of a father, full name of mother, gender, birthday, marital status, country of birth, city of birth, your nationality, and your main occupation. In our case, usually you're all students, so just click on the search icon here and search for estudante, like I'm doing now. And you can also include your CPF and email if you want to. And then you click next, and this is the information of your entry in the country. So place of entry, which usually is Rio de Janeiro as well, and the date, how you came, which is usually via airplane, and the number of your visa, date of concession, city of concession, country of concession, kind of document, kind of travel document, number of travel document, and the country where you issued your document. This is the information of your address in Brazil, which is mandatory, so just fill in the address information of where you are staying in this first month you are in Brazil. You will also need a Brazilian address and a valid telephone number. You can use a hotel address or a hostel address. It doesn't matter. CEP means zip code. So let's go next. This part of the form we don't need to pay attention to. It's like commerce address, so let's just go next. This is the responsibility term. This is where you accept that all the information is valid, so just check in the box and write what appears and save it. So it issues this document here, and it is the form I mentioned before. You're gonna have to bring it with you to Polícia Federal. You want to save this number here because we're gonna use it later. And just scroll down here, and I'm gonna have to sign and paste the picture here. I'm not sure if they're gonna use the two photos I mentioned before, so just in case, bring one extra photo just so you can paste in here. Now let's go back to the website here, and now you're gonna issue the documents so you can pay the taxes, the two taxes. So it's the second step. Gerar a GRU. You want to choose the third option here, pessoas e entidades estrangeiras, which means people and foreigner entities. Again, just fill in all your information, and here you're gonna choose the federal police office you'll be going to. So before, let's just start filling in. Just fill all the information that is asked. So name, address, this is going to be the address, the Brazilian address where you're going to come to. Then name of your mother, name of your father. Unidade arrecadadora means the federal police office, which is going to basically take the money you're going to pay. In our case, it's going to, usually our students, they do choose the Galeão airport, so just look for it. It's here, around, somewhere around here, Galeão. This is where you're gonna choose the taxes that you're going to pay. Polícia Federal, they do have a lot of taxes for a lot of reasons, so you just need to find the two taxes that I mentioned before. So that's why I asked you to save the numbers when we were in the other page. So the first tax, it's right here. So that's the number that the other page told us. So you're just gonna have to click here, and the total amount of the money is here, and then you just issue it. This is the document you're gonna take it with you to the bank, to any bank agency of your convenience. Here is the amount again, and this is how long you have to actually pay the tax. So just print the document or save it, and let's go back. And then you're gonna have to do it again to pay the order tax, which is this one here, registro de estrangeiro, and just click it and do it again. Relembrando, os alunos vindo de países da CPLP, a Comunidade dos Países de Língua Portuguesa, não precisam pagar essa segunda taxa de registro de estrangeiro. Now you need to schedule to go to an office and take all the documents. You're going to need the number at the top of the form I mentioned earlier, so let's just close everything and go back. Here, that's the next step, and you're gonna have to use this number that I mentioned before, and then you're gonna put it in here. So just go next, and here you're gonna choose the date. You're gonna go to Polícia Federal, time, and then you save it, and it's going to issue this document, which you're going to print and take it with you. Now you just have to gather all the documents and go to the office you have chosen. I hope the tutorial have helped in some way, so it makes it easier for you to understand the process. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.